Everyday Canadians probably don't need to know much about how a blind trust works, but they have been a topic of consternation for Prime Minister Mark Carney. A blind trust is common for elected officials who might have conflicts of interest, right? They're making big policy decisions, and therefore, if they have assets like a stock in a particular company or in a particular industry where their decisions can influence how well that stock's performed, they need to have some barriers in place to remove them from those kinds of investments. So a blind trust takes all the investments a public office holder had before they assumed the office and hands them over to a third party trustee, someone who is not close or well known to the individual at hand here, and has them manage them completely instead with no input essentially from the individual who handed over the assets. Now, Mark Carney had a notable business career. He was the governor of the central banks in Canada and England, but also worked for Brookfield, an asset manager. He served on the boards of Bloomberg and Stripe. Stripe is a payment processing company. And so there have been a lot of questions, particularly from the Conservative Party, about what kind of assets he's bringing into his role as Prime Minister and whether he could be subject to any conflicts of interest here as he begins to embark on his policymaking decisions. Mark Carney has also floated that he would set up screens with the ethics commissioner, so that the ethics commissioner, who will have a bit of a view into his blind trust in those assets, can say, even though you do not know 100% what is in your trust right now, seeing what you were exposed to previously and what you might think you have in your trust, we can find ways to recuse you from decisions that may come up in your role as Prime Minister, so that there is another layer of protection and hopefully guarding against, again, those conflicts of interest.